Hey, what's up, everybody? Bob here at Honest Barber back in Austin, Texas. Here to hook up my buddy, Mr. Richard, the handsome farmer. Yeah, thanks a lot. You said it's been how long since the last one?
About 2 months.
2 months.
Probably
Your normal schedule.
Yeah.
So, being that it's been about 2.5, I'm gonna go and just mow down some of this top.
Yeah.
Get that.
Long top, short to the side, you know.
The classic. We did take down the back a little bit shorter. What?
Yeah, I like it shorter.
Okay.
It's been so hot recently too.
Yeah, in about 2.5 months, you're probably grown an inch and change. Knowing how fast your hair grows, it's I want to be a little more generous, but go down this little center section and get everything straightened out before I start digging in too deep. Hey Richard, I don't know, you've been sitting in my chair for a long time, and I know you trust me, but like I said, for the sake of the vid, let you know what I'm doing for the first time ever. I know it's you just close your eyes sometimes and you come out looking the best ever.
You know, I walked out of here, first time I cut my hair, whatever, it was 6, 7 years ago, whatever. I mean, a long time. And it was the first time I walked out of a haircut and liked the haircut. That's a tough thing to say for a little guy, but.
Yeah, making you look good is not that much work for me.
You definitely work your magic.
Taking down that first inch and change all around on the top of the head, and at the end of the cut, I'll add a little texture, make it extra fancy. So it looks like you get out of bed and mean to look like you had a ton of bed head. So just like that, I think I'll just cross-check your top real quick and make sure there's no big chunks too far out of whack. Yeah, I feel like I know your head so well. It's just like just close my eyes and comb through the hair, might pop out fine on the other end. So took care of the top. I feel like there's a sufficient amount removed. Go ahead and start working the sides. We used to do a lot of shear on the bottom. You wanted it a little tighter. What you thinking this time? Something conservative, handsome, or you want to go a little more aggressive, military, being that you're going to go visit the...
I don't want to go down to the skin, but I want it pretty short.
Okay. Still got a few more weeks or months of heat, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, tell me about it. Cool. Then I'll start at the bottom, see what we're feeling. I can always take off more. So being already that we're taking care of the top, I'm gonna just push some of this crown out of the way, get that horseshoe part going. For this type of cut, it's got a lot of hair. I'm gonna be mowing it down pretty low. I want to get on the first try, so I'm going there with my 76er variable speed Titan. All you gearhead nerds. Establish that perimeter, just like on any other fade. All these haircuts are essentially the same, just different lengths. So just, I don't think I mentioned it, but this is a 3 3/4, which is essentially a 4 almost. Clipper guards, the adjustables. About ½ an inch of hair left on the scalp once it's all taken down. Really classic amounts of hair left. I say classic because it's a good amount of taper, but without being super aggressive. To connect some of this top to that perimeter that I just set with the 4, I'm going to go ahead and just use my clipper over comb and knock off about the same amount that I took off the top, which is aiming for about 1 inch. I like these big old flat combs because it's like training wheels. Clipper doesn't have any chance of falling off the comb and knocking out a big gouge. But now that I've said that, that's probably gonna happen. People think that when a barber messes up that they make a lot of noise, like, ah! But the fact of the matter is if a barber's talking a whole bunch and he makes a mistake, he's gonna be really quiet. He's gonna be like, just, yeah, exactly, yeah. Let me figure this out real quick before he notices. Keep that chair pointed away. Hope I'm not giving anybody knocking on anybody. Yeah, I'm trying to connect, like I said, this nice parietal ridge to that bottom guide and smooth everything out, just making sure there aren't too many big, heavy weight lines left over. You can polish everything else with a shear over comb and then bash it with them thinners. I'm going to clean up the edges with my skeletonized trimmer that Jack noticed the last time he was here. Yeah, and these types of old guy cuts, I try not to give too high of a... Yeah, of course I did. No, I try to keep that edge pretty low, maybe just grazing the ear. Don't want to expose too much skin. Keep it nice and soft. Don't need to be too aggressive with it. I feel like on these longer, more classic cuts, a softer edge is a little bit better. And then always to polish it out, I always make sure that beard is blended in. I usually aim for this little knob in the ear where that natural sideburn starts, just to clean up the sideburn and transition into the beard. This is where that skeletonized works nicely. I can really get into those little nooks and crannies without worrying about beating up somebody's skin or ears or other parts of their body. So I know you asked for a classic gentleman's haircut, but I'm digging them. Do you like flock of seagulls?
He's been a little longer. I like the faux hawk.
So I'm just gonna go over one more time just to make sure that this longer top blends into that side nicely. I like to keep that weight towards the front and make sure once it comes to this back half, it starts getting a little closer to that transition. Over direct it a little bit backwards just to keep some of that weight up front. Classic shear over comb, just smooth that last little transition. So even though he typically combs his hair to the right, I always like to make sure that the haircut itself is balanced all around. Unless it calls for something super asymmetrical, I do always even out both sides, just in case that day you decide to go a little crazy and comb it the other way. A little Austin-y, keeping it weird. Yeah, because I like options. I like giving guys options. I don't want to ever cut hair in a way that's only going to be combed, give you the ability to comb one way. I like my hairstyle itself to be versatile, slick it back, a little messy. At this point, I'm combing your hair just to make you uncomfortable. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm batting the hair around to see what might present itself. If I see a couple of areas with some weight, some of these spots right here, a little extra, I'll just come back and smooth them out. And if you don't like it, you can just put a ton of pomade in it.
I feel like I'm getting a master class in barber.
You know, they say it takes 10,000 reps, and I've still got like 8,500 to go. So, Mr. Richard, I'm gonna polish out the back when we get to it, but overall, what do you think about that length? Because I know that you prefer a little bit of length up top.
Yeah, that's good. As long as it stays out of my eyes, it falls back in my back.
Those are the kinds of standards I like, just as long as it's out of my eyes. Doesn't even have to look good.
I trust you,
Just
brother.
chop those bangs. Like I said, I know that you wear a hat a lot, and when you take off that hat, I want to be able to make sure it's got a little bit of movement, so it looks.
First time you give me a dad cut, I'll let you know.
Yeah, you have my personal number, so I know it'll. You definitely will give me a shout. At this point, I like to just soften up some of those edges, lighten up the hair since it's so much length up front. Not as exaggerated as Jack's hair, but I like taking off about whatever amount of hair that the next haircut will demand. If you come in every 2 months and I know your grows an inch, I'll channel cut it, I'll point cut it a little, about the same amount, about an inch, maybe just shy of, because I know it'll grow out. So if it's a little too heavy-handed, we can recoup it the next cut. So go pick up my my trusty bashers. What I'm looking for right now is, once again, just a little areas, little pockets of weight that I might have created when I was doing that clipper over comb. Nothing too aggressive, just sure it tucks in nice and tight under that occipital bone. Don't want to have too much weight, give you that alien head. I mean, you're already halfway there, so.
Yeah, this might be the biggest head you cut.
Today, at least, yeah. Yesterday, you had some competition.
Did I?
Last but certainly not least, I'm going to get those eyebrows real quick.
Yeah.
First and foremost, he said he wanted it out of his eyes. It's at his eyebrows. That'll work. And gents, all you guys who are cutting hair out there, do me a favor. Get these guys wizard brows, man. I know they probably store a lot of powers in them, but their ladies will appreciate it, and that's what counts. Dry out some of this hair a bit. You typically style it in that like rockabilly pompadour.
Yeah. Pompadour, pull it back, keep to the side.
It's rough dry. You don't need to get too crazy with it, but on this side, I am going to pay attention to the roots, going opposite of the way that he combs it, just so he has a little bit more volume. Get some of that moisture out, so when I apply product right now, it gets to work right away. Hit that cold button just to lock some of that volume in. If you guys studied your manuals, like I did last night, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply some product now, just to lock it in. Let me go find some real quick. Back for some more. Once again, because you have such light, fine hair, don't need a whole bunch of product. Just a layer, just rake it through for that nice, for the date night stuff. I know you're a hard worker and you don't need to be impressing the workers, but so as I'm applying product, that guy is being a little stubborn because I was hitting it with that blow dryer. So what I'm gonna do is break it up again with some moisture, just ever so slightly. And then because it's has a little bit of that weight, the product should dry with it in place and create a smoother result. I know you own your own business, but you're ready for that promotion, man.
Looks good, my man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, like I said, I'm gonna just dig into that nape real quick to finish out that classic gentleman's taper. Once again, I like a softer taper. Flip over comb, got a lot of control. I think if we want to modernize this, yeah, we'd take that clipper and ride this thing up a little bit higher, but the classy gentleman like Rick, keep it nice and close to the nape. A little bit softer, like I said, just to keep it classic. Good old warm lather.
That's the best part.
I thought your visit here was the best part, just catching up with me, but I get it. So,
Don't get pampered a lot.
none of us do. I work at a barbershop. If you look at my hair, I have to smash it under a hat because all these guys are too busy to even give me a cut themselves, man. Everyone's super booked up at Honest Barber. Going back to that whole classic cut, I don't like to get too tight in on the hairline with the razor or that finish. Just clean up some of the stuff that's exposed. I like to wick away the lather right before I get to that part that I'm going to shave, just in case you don't want a mole removed. I know we talked about the shavette, the blade holder, the last time we were here, but didn't get to talk about the actual razor. I like Astras. If any of the other guys are big fans of those, they're just sharp enough to take care of business, but not so aggressive that they're gonna pluck off every divot, imperfection in the skin. See, that's my trick. I don't know how to cut hair. I just compliment the hell out of the clients and
Like a finger looks good? Is that what it is?
and then just never let them see the haircut before they leave. Follow up with some good old antiseptic. Ready to impress the fam.
Wife will be happy when I come home tonight.
Our new YouTube channel, the Beardbrand Alliance, has all the familiar faces that you love and hate over on the Beardbrand Alliance. Me, Greg, Carlos, and Ben are jamming it up, giving you tips and advice on how to not only look good, but kill it in this world. Beardbrand Alliance, head over there now.